Hey, Decathlon Gamer, welcome back to Tennis Manager. We're on episode 52, Cincinnati Open Premier 900. We're getting kind of forced into playing all the big tournaments these days, which, with our ranking being where it is, we don't fare too well with these, and so it's kind of hard to keep up with my vision for what I would like to see happen with things. I'd like to be winning some tournaments and then just competing in some of these, but whatever. It is what it is. Well, anyway, Kostanseva has gotten through the first round after beating a qualifier in Catherine McNally, but she faces off with Naomi Osaka in the round of 32, so good luck to her getting through that. Meanwhile, our other representative here, the only other one, is Montgomery. Montgomery does also get a wild card opponent in her first one, and she's doubled up in terms of ranking comparatively, but a difficult path if we do get past the first round in the round of 32 as well. And we do get past that first one. Better on the winners. Serve winners was nice. Aces, 9 of them, and very few unforced errors. Single digits for both players, actually. Holy cow, Kostanseva with the upset over Osaka into the round of 16. What a result for her. Nicely done. And likewise, Montgomery keeping pace with Kostanseva, and both get through. 6-4, 6-4. Huge upsets for the squad as a whole. 31 winners. And again, unforced errors below 10. Pressure is on Montgomery because Kostanseva continues to knock off big-time opponents, potentially pushing her rank higher and higher as she is into the round of 8. And our old foe Andreescu up next, third-ranked player in the world. We're looking at probably Sabalenka if we do get past here. It's nothing easy about this path. Should be worth a decent amount of points, though, to get at least this far. Can we get farther? All 3 times we faced off with Andreescu, she has won. High serve intensity, okay. More defensive game plan. 2-6, 2-6, Andreescu, 4-4-4 against us, only 15 winners. We still actually had pretty good match in terms of making very few mistakes. 16 is not a bad number. Yes, it's not the 8-9 that we've had, those last couple of matches. It's not single digits, but 16 is still a very small number. It's just she only had 6. At total winners, we weren't that far behind her. Total points won, though, ultimately, it didn't look good, just 36%. Kostanseva out against Bencic in the next round. Both of them, though, really solid performances. Round of 16, quarterfinals, it's nice. Big tournament like that, they're showing their stuff, but still not good enough to beat those best players, and I don't know how and when I'll get them traded up to that point, but we'll try. And we're into the U.S. Open now in New York City. Osaka stays the 1 seed, and she gets through into that second round where she could have faced Ayala. Ayala with a favorable, at least first round draw, and she's out, unfortunately, and losing in 4 sets, so she won't have that dream matchup. And Lee takes 5 sets to get through, but she's into the round of 64. Scout, who does earn a seeding for this one, she has made it into the round of 64, so that's another one to keep an eye on. Bencic has beaten Elena Ita to get through. Ita got a wild card to the U.S. Open. Corey Goff has gotten through. She's currently ranked 21st in the world. Swiatek is through to face off with Fritfritova. Fritfritova currently leading the next-gen rankings. Potential matchup with Nakunye, though she's certainly not favored for Montgomery. Montgomery, favorable matchup in the first round. 83rd ranked player. We get a 25 seed for this one, but right below us in the tournament setup. So we have Nakunye just above us, just below us, Krager, who has Emma Raducanu, who's only ranked 91st, by the way. Actually, that's higher than she was. She was outside of the top 100. So Raducanu there. And then Kostanseva, who has jumped in the rankings into the top 20, the highest we've ever seen from any of our players. Ranked 16th in this one. Those two possibly heading for a second round matchup and then possibly setting up a third round matchup with Montgomery. This could be interesting. The two had faced off twice before, and Montgomery makes it 3 for 3 and 3 for 3 in terms of sets, 6-4, 7-5, 7-5. Yes, it was close, and at the same time, it wasn't. Straight sets, 6 aces, 1 double fault versus 0-3. That all looked pretty good. 60 winners to 45. That looked good. Unforced errors, 25 to 32. Yeah, 25 doesn't look great, but overall that looked good. And that was in 3 sets, not in 2, so you got to take that into account. 53% of points won, though. It seems dominant, and yet it somehow wasn't. But regardless, we are through to the next round. And update on the tournament so far. Of course, Ayala was already out. And Lee out in the round of 64. Katrina Scout knocked out by a lower ranked player in the round of 64. Benchik still in. Corey Goff still in. Fritvertova knocked out by Swiatek. Nokunye knocked off by Bapasa. That's who we play next. Raducanu upsetting Krager. So Krager out. That took 5 sets to happen, and she battled back from down 2 sets to 1. So good on her. Good performance. We'll see how Kazanseva does, as Kazanseva did go through. So that's who will play there. And yes, we still potentially have a Montgomery versus Kazanseva matchup in the round of 32. Looking forward to that potential. And that gives us, if we both win anyway in this round, that guarantees one of our players will make it to the round of 16. That eventuality will not happen, as Bapasa has moved on. Service, we were dominant there, but the additional match stats, you can see our weaknesses. Almost 20 behind in total winners. Unforced errors, a few down. Not terrible. 24 is, acceptable, but the winners just weren't in our favor. We could not push the ball past her, and we're out. So no matchup later on. Kazanseva beats Raducanu, so she is through at least. And Bapasa knocks her off as well. So both of them knocked out by Bapasa. Bapasa making a tremendous run at the moment. Ouch, that hurts. That really hurts to go down like that. Both of our top players getting knocked off by somebody just inside the top 50, which top 50 is very respectable. By all means, it can happen, but still hurts. This has been a good learning experience for Montgomery, though. Her post-tournament reflection period has led to a +2 in fighting spirit, +1 in composure, +1 in killer instinct. 2 9s just hit double digits. So that is good, because while Kazanseva had a massive weakness in this department, Montgomery wasn't anywhere near as bad, but she just got a whole lot better in that department. Here is the update on Montgomery, on where she stands following the mental improvement there. So you can see that composure, the confidence, 13 and 12 in those, that killer instinct, that fighting spirit, both hitting double digits, now means nothing in the single digits. Everything is halfway and beyond in terms of the leveling system. Meanwhile, I just traded up Smash from an 11 to 12 a week ago, right before the tournament, and we'll look to continue on and get those 4 technical shots to 13s. They'll probably sit there for a while as we then focus on something else, but my oh my, she is definitely starting to make her way in towards the elite category. Not quite there. All-around player, just about. End of season reports for the second hard season. Ayala has slipped, but she was outside of the top 100. We got her back up to 96th late on, but 5 tournaments, only 2 wins for her. Montgomery moves up a little bit, now 28th. Good solid points haul, good solid money coming in, 6 tournaments played, 10 wins. Not the greatest win record, but it was okay, especially considering she's playing hard tournaments pretty much throughout now. Krager drops 5 spots, but has an okay run, but she only won once in 3 tournaments played. Kazanzeva, though, nice little stretch, going from 30th up to 19th. Pretty dang good points haul, good money coming in, prize money, 13 wins from 18 tournaments, or 18 appearances in 6 tournaments, and 72% win rate. So she continues to have that solid run, even though we are not managing her directly. She's still performing at a similar level to when we were managing her directly in her previous run with the team. And it's netting a pretty solid position now inside the top 20. No pluses to attributes from last week to this week. Maybe it just hadn't updated the +4 that we had overall in the mental stats hadn't been reflected at that point. But looky Montgomery, a 4-star player now. I think that mental part is going to have a little bit stronger impact on the court with how she plays. Higher composure, better killer instinct, better fighting spirit. Definitely means you're going to take your stats and you're going to keep on battling. You're not going to give up. And that could net more wins for sure. As we approach the late part of the season, it's September 27th, and of course things wrap up not on the final days of the year, but not that long from now. We've got about a month and a half left to play. So checking in on those contracts and seeing how we are doing. Ayala, we run a likelihood that Ayala is going to be gone now. That ranking had fallen outside of the top 100. It's back up to 84th, but she wants to be in the top 70. Grand Slam, looks like she's not going to achieve that target. She came up 1 round short. Premier 1000, she's come up well short. And unless that ranking really jumps here for Ayala late in the season with, like, say, a small tournament win, I don't see us retaining her. So we will have 1 void to fill, but that's okay. Of our 4, Ayala is the weakest. Montgomery, we stand a small chance of actually losing Montgomery. She wants to be in the top 20. We are 26th. Yes, we are doing well, but we're not achieving it. We've achieved everything else. 80% success rate. Looks like we should be hanging on to her probably, but not guaranteed. Krager wanted to be top 100. She is well inside of that. She wants to qualify for the next gen finals. Last time I checked a couple weeks ago, she was 2nd in the rankings. Therefore, she should achieve that one, and I think that'll just about give us 90-95. So almost certainly hanging on to Krager. She wanted to get round of 64 in a Grand Slam. Hasn't done that. Has 1 chance left. And finally, Kazanzeva. Everything she wants, she has, and more. She's had a great season since returning to the team, and it looks like we are poised to hang on to her for now. And even though our ranking is pretty solid at 26, we do not get seeded for this Premier 900 tournament in Wuhan. Okay, we'll see what we can do. We have a tough first round match, though obviously winnable. And then we have a very tough second round match if we do happen to get through. We do not. 3-6, 3-6. Poor on the serve, which we went for high intensity on as was suggested, and that did not work out in our favor very well at all. Also just 25 winners to her 35. Only 8 unforced errors, so a nice clean match, but we're still beaten anyway. Beijing, Premier 1000, Osaka in the 1 seed. There's a lot of big time players here. I've also brought quite a few of my team members here who have not fared too well thus far. Krager out in the first round. Ayala out in the first round. Kazanzeva gets a bye, as does Montgomery. So they're both about to play their first match in the round of 64. We have a decent chance of moving on, but I don't like our chances of getting too deep in this one. We do get out of that second round, 6-4, 6-2, and strong on the service. 27 winners, very, very clean with just 8 unforced errors. 12th ranked Yasterpaska here in the next round. Kazanzeva also succeeded in that previous round, so they've both made it this far. We have beat her before out of 3 times, but only once. And we're not going to even the series. We lose this one 2-6, 6-7. Okay on the serves. Equal on the winners. Unforced errors. Only 2 higher. 46% of points won. It was definitely close, all things considered. We came really, really close, at least to getting one set, forcing a third. It just didn't quite come together for us, apparently after a slow start. Kazantseva also out in the same round, so both make it to the round of 32. Not our greatest performance of the season by any means, but look who she was up against. After a deep run in a 280 tournament and both Kazantseva and Montgomery being declined for their bid to get into the World Tour Finals, Kazantseva finally sees a little bit of a mental boost, actually a pretty significant one. Her fighting spirit going +1 and her confidence, which was abysmal and was the same after all these years, finally goes +3. +4 overall to that is a huge boost to her mental attributes. Quick overview of all 4 players. You can see Ayala 3 stars, but she still has some low stats, especially the mental ones. Montgomery, of course, now has pushed into those 10s and beyond. Krager now 3 stars, but also struggling on skill shots. Mental, not as bad, but she is lacking in a couple areas. And Kazantseva still lacking, but so much better. She was terrible here. Pretty dang good everybody else. Lob, hot shots, both at 9s, very nearly there. Smash is a 14 now, so she's developed that quite well. She's sitting on 3.5 stars. Montgomery should be the best of all of these when you take the overall, but there's just a few things, a few areas where Kazantseva is still that little bit stronger than Montgomery is, and this is kind of the difference between them. So Kazantseva is inconsistent, but she is a little more capable of grabbing some wins, and that's why her ranking is a little bit higher. But I could see Montgomery starting to be a little more consistent and not struggling occasionally on the consistency part, and therefore could probably overtake Kazantseva maybe this next season, I would think. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.